Hello, and welcome to my channel. My name is Jonathan Cohn, and today I will be reviewing the second book in the Poppy War trilogy, The Dragon Republic, by R.F. Kuang. This is the second book of the trilogy, as I mentioned. The first book was called The Poppy War. I read this about a year ago before I started my channel, and I enjoyed it. I was impressed by it. It wasn't a book that captivated me. It wasn't a book that made me think I need to read more. It was a book that I thought, that's really good. I might pick up the sequel one day. And so I gave it like an 8.5 out of 10. I thought it was good, but not amazing. Then I just read The Dragon Republic, and boy is this jam-packed with themes and action and story and character development. This is a wonderful, wonderful book. And after reading this book, I understand why everyone thinks that R.F. Kuang is the future of, represents the future writing generation. I completely understand that. Her grasp of storytelling is unparalleled, and her grasp of themes as well. And ironically, I disagree with a lot of the themes that she presents in this book, particularly when it comes to drug use, when it comes to the purpose of war, and also when it comes to colonization. However, she presents those ideas so articulately that it made me challenge how I view those ideas myself, and made me have to think about them more and maybe think about strengthening my own views on them. Of course, the main character, much like the first book, is Rin. She is this spearly girl who is very, comes from a poor background, but she's able to rise through the ranks and become the commander of the Psyche. And in this book, she starts out not really having a good plan. You know, all she wants is revenge. She wants revenge on Empress Daji for not... for a lot of things that Daji does in the first book, and I don't want to spoil all of them. And, of course, as revenge stories go, it doesn't really go too well. And eventually she gets recruited by this other group forming the Dragon Republic, and she ends up fighting with them, and there's a bunch of adventures and story that happens there. This is definitely a grim, dark story. There is horrifying, gross things happening to the characters. You know, there's lots of language in the book, and so it can be very difficult to read at times. This is not a book that you think, oh, this is so much fun, I enjoy this. No, this is a difficult book to get through, but it was so well done that it was worth me binge reading. I found myself saying, I need to find out what happens. It was so good in that regard. Another thing that is so good about this book is its plot. It is split up into 3 parts, and those 3 parts are each very distinctive, and I think that Kuang did a good job of making all the parts flow from one to the next, but yet they all still have that distinctive tone about them. The first part is more of the what I'd call pirate's revenge. The second part is what I'd call the Dragon War. And then the third part I would call the siege. And each part just, it flowed so well. And usually I don't like if a book's split up into parts. But this one, it was handled well. I do have a few criticisms of this book, however. One of my main criticisms of this book is I think it's a bit too long. I think that she could have pared down a few of the scenes I felt were unnecessary. I felt that the book could have been about 100 pages shorter, and it wasn't there wasn't a single area that I would say that's what needs to be cut. But if you cut a little bit from each part, a little bit from this scene, a little bit from this scene, I think that it would have been about closer to the length of the Poppy War, and I think it would have been better for it. But still, that is a minor issue. It is still wonderful despite some of the pacing issues at times. And my other criticism with this book is Kuang goes so grimdark that there are a few points where she tries to do levity and it just doesn't work out well. And honestly, there is a direction that most authors would take the character in certain scenes, and Kwong goes the complete opposite way. She wants these characters to be beat down. She wants them to have terrible lives. So you understand why she goes in the direction that she goes, but I think that there were a few times where if she'd just gone the more traditional route of giving the characters these more happier moments, I think that the book would have not felt so glum the entire time, and I think that it would have flowed better. But as a result, I just feel I never trust if something happy is going to happen, because every time it looks like something good is going to happen, she yanks the rug out and the character falls down. And if I start the third book, I will not believe if she ever presents anything happy. And so that was another minor problem with the book. But as you see from my issues with the book, they're incredibly minor. I do not have huge structural issues. I think that the way she wrote this book was brilliant, especially, as I said, with themes, with her characterization, and with her action. When it comes to characterization, the standout character of this book to me is both Niza and now I'm blanking on his name. Darn it! I will have to cut this out. Not Ramza. Kate. Why would I had the wrong name in my head. Kate was wonderful in this book. I wish that we had gotten more scenes with Kate, believe it or not. I think we could have cut down some of the stuff with some of the other minor characters, maybe some of Rin's internal dialogue, and focus more on Kate and Niza's storyline. But it really is Rin's story, and I just thought that those three characters were just done so well. Some of the minor characters were funny, but I'm not a huge fan of her humor, but I don't knock the book. Some people have this type of humor, so she has a very more droll sense of humor than I do, but still a wonderful book. So I would give The Dragon Republic a 9.0 out of 10. A seriously well done, well crafted book, and I cannot wait to read book 3, and I will definitely be reading it at some point this year, because it was just so well worth it. And so if you've read these books, let me know your thoughts down in the comments section below. Do you like The Dragon Republic? Did you prefer The Poppy War? This was the one that won all the awards. Do you prefer The Burning God? Is that your favorite? Let me know in the comments down below. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. And until next time, I'm Jonathan, and thank you for watching.